Impersonation policy. The safety of our creators, viewers, and partners is our highest priority. We look to each of you to help us protect this unique and vibrant community. It's important you understand the community guidelines and the role they play in our shared responsibility to keep YouTube safe. Take your time to carefully read the policy below. You can also check out this page for a full list of our guidelines. Content intended to impersonate a person or channel is not allowed on YouTube. YouTube also enforces trademark holder rights when a channel or content in the channel causes confusion about the source of goods and services advertised. It may not be allowed. If you see content that violates this policy, please report it. If you feel that yours or another creator's channel is being impersonated, you can report the channel by following the instructions here. What these policies mean for you. If you're posting content, don't post content on YouTube if it fits any of the descriptions noted below. Channel impersonation. A channel that copies another channel's profile, background, or overall look and feel in such a way that makes it look like someone else's channel. The channel does not have to be 100% identical as long as the intent is clear to copy the other channel. Personal impersonation. Content intended to look like someone else is posting it. Examples. Here are some examples of content that's not allowed on YouTube. Channels with the same name and image as another channel with the only difference being a space inserted into the name or a zero replacing the letter O. Using someone else's real name, username, image, brand, logo, or other personal information to trick people into believing you are that person. Exactly matching a channel description to another channel. Setting up a channel using the name and image of a person and then pretending that person is posting content to the channel. Setting up a channel using the name and image of a person and then posting comments on other channels as if they were posted by the person. Channels claiming to be a fan account but actually posting as another's channel and re-uploading their content. Channels impersonating and existing new channels. Please remember, these are just some examples, and don't post content if you think it might violate this policy. What happens if content violates this policy? If your content violates this policy, we'll remove the content and send you an email to let you know. If this is your first time violating our community guidelines, you'll get a warning with no penalty on your channel. If it's not, we'll issue a strike against your channel. If you get 3 strikes, your channel will be terminated. You can learn more about our strikes system here. We may terminate your channel or account for repeated violations of the community guidelines or terms of service. We may also terminate your channel or account after a single case of severe abuse or when the channel is dedicated to a policy violation. You can learn more about channel or account terminations here. Harassment and cyberbullying policies. We recently announced some updates on our harassment policy to better protect creators and users. The policy below has been updated to reflect these changes. Content that threatens individuals is not allowed on YouTube. We also don't allow content that targets an individual with prolonged or malicious insults based on intrinsic attributes. These attributes include their protected group status or physical traits. If you find content that violates this policy, report it. Instructions for reporting violations of our community guidelines are available here. If you found multiple videos or comments that you would like to report, you can report the channel. For tips and best practices to stay safe, keep your account secure, and protect your privacy, check out this Help Center article. If specific threats are made against you and you feel unsafe, report it directly to your local law enforcement agency. What the policy means. If you're posting content, don't post content on YouTube if it fits any of the descriptions noted below. Content that features prolonged name-calling or malicious insults such as racial slurs based on someone's intrinsic attributes. These attributes include their protected group status, physical attributes, or their status as a survivor of sexual assault, domestic abuse, child abuse, and more. Content uploaded with the intent to shame, deceive, or insult a minor. A minor is defined as an individual under the legal age of majority. This usually means anyone younger than 18 years old, but the age of a minor might vary by geography. Exceptions. If the primary purpose is educational, documentary, specific, or artistic in nature, we may allow content that includes harassment. These exceptions are not a free pass to harass someone. Some examples include debates related to high-profile officials for leaders, content featuring debates or discussions of topical issues concerning individuals who have positions of power like high-profile government officials or CEOs of major I don't know how to pronounce that. Multinational, I think? Cooperations, scripted performances, insults made in the context of an artistic medium such as scripted satire, stand-up community, or music such as a diss track. Note, exception or how do you pronounce this? This exception is not a free pass to harass someone and claim I was joking. Harassment, education, or awareness. Content that features actual or simulated harassment for documentary purposes or with willing participants such as actors to combat cyberbullying or raise awareness. Note, we take a harder line on content that maliciously insults someone based on their protected group status, regardless of whether or not they are a high-profile person. Monetization and other penalties. In some rare cases, we may remove content or issue other penalties when a creator repeatedly encourages abusive audience behavior, repeatedly targets, insults, and abuses in identifiable individual based on their intrinsic attributes across several uploads, exposes an individual to risk of physical harm based on the local, social, or political context, creates content that harms the YouTube community by persistently inciting hostility between creators for personal financial gain. Examples. Here are some examples of content that's not allowed on YouTube. Repeatedly showing pictures of someone and then making statements like, look at this creator's teeth, they're so disgusting, with similar commentary targeting intrinsic attributes throughout the video. Targeting an individual based on their membership in a protected group, such as by saying, look at this filthy slur, targeting a protected group. I wish they'd just get hit by a truck. Targeting an individual and making claims that are involved in human trafficking in the context of a harmful conspiracy theory where the conspiracy is linked to direct threats or violent acts, using an extreme insult to dehumanize an individual based on their intrinsic attributes. For example, look at this dog of a woman, she's not even a human being. She must be some sort of mutant or animal. How do you pronounce this again? Deepening an identifiable individual being murdered, seriously injured, or engaged in a graphic sexual act without their consent. Accounts dedicated entirely to forcing on maliciously insulting an identifiable individual. So, yeah, that's basically proof about impersonation and harassment and cyberbullying being against YouTube's community guidelines.